Can I get a literal hell yeah for our boy Takemichi? Because he starts up the episode exactly where he left off. As a badass, taking on this monster of a behemoth, Taiju Shiba. And he's still fighting, despite how big in difference their strength and fighting prowess are. Takemichi's endurance level is so ridiculous. He's able to take on ridiculous punches. As I said last episode, Taiju was literally punching him so hard, he was breaking the sound barrier from the looks of it. And he still is taking that much punishment. Yes, Takemichi, we get to see his more like inner thoughts and like how he basically thinks back that he had nobody back then. He was all alone. And now, after everything that he's done, and yes, I will defend him from people who don't like him, because people forget he saved Draken. He prevented Kazutora from dying. Hell, he even beat Kiyomasa. Like, he's done stuff. And now, he punched Taiju. And although he was sent flying back, he brought him to his knees. This is a big moment for Takemichi. Yes, he's not exactly beating the fuck out of him, but that doesn't mean shit when you have the weakest character being able to cause one of the strongest characters to suddenly go on their knees. At that point, you have to question, is Takemichi really that weak? But anyway, this is enough to get everyone's attention. Takemichi gives a spiel, one of the most interesting parts that I'll let him say. Yes, loneliness hurts. And I think that is kind of the theme of this episode, as we'll go through this review. The fact that Hakai has been put on this pedestal by Mitsuyu kind of caused him to have to be brave, but he literally feels like he's a fraud, because he has lied to them at this point that Yuzuha was the one taking the beatings for him, not the other way around. Which, yeah, I mean, everyone's kind of telling him he's kind of shit for doing that. Hell, Takemichi just calls him that he sucks. But he also remembers that Takemichi has also kind of run away from himself. So it is interesting having Takemichi kind of bond with him, despite also calling him an idiot. Well, telling them that he sucks, because, I mean, that is the sucky thing to do. Because this tiny lie kind of caused this whole conflict. But aside from that note, he still is willing to fight for Hakai. He's showing that he'll fight for him. Chifuyu and Mitsuyu, despite being well tired out as well, are also going to fight for Hakai. This is enough to finally bring him out of that little broken, afraid shell, and for him to finally stand up to Taiju and punch the fuck out of him after he's just spilling nonsense about how he's scared, this is all a front, and then gets punched in the face. And we get a cool fight between Hakai and Taiju. Though the moment Taiju finally kind of snaps, he beats the shit out of his own brother. And obviously the others join in with Chifuyu fighting Inyupe and Koko fighting Mitsuyu, while Takemichi takes on Taiju, and eventually Hakai joins him. Everyone is fighting, not just to defeat the Black Dragon, but to protect Yuzuha. Since we know that Taiju will kill her for trying to kill him, Yuzuha had been alone because she's been obviously trying to protect her family. Mainly Hakai, but she's been trying to protect her family. And now that loneliness she had felt from that is gone, because all of these guys, as well as her brother who wants to protect her even more now, are fighting for her. Hell, her mother had come in spirit form just to basically tell her that she's not alone. So yes, finally Takemichi not only has saved Hakai from, well, being afraid of Taiju, but has saved Yuzuha from, well, what she was suffering. And that's our boy Takemichi. He's still fighting, despite the fact that Hakai has noticed that, yes, Takemichi's beyond his limits. He's gotten beaten up so badly, and he's still fighting. That should be very impressive, indeed. Well, after this, Hakai obviously keeps fighting against Taiju. He's definitely, well, trying to keep up. And yeah, they all know they're kind of fucked at this point. Even if they beat the three that they're facing, they still have like over 100. Well, they have 100 of the black dragons outside waiting to kill them, basically. Only for Mikey to come in. Because they're all kind of like, huh? Are we hearing things? No, that is Mikey's bike. So yeah, episode ends with just Mikey kind of chillaxing, walking in like, hey, sup guys, Merry Christmas. What's going on here? Oh, Mikey, just funny timing you come in. But the biggest themes are definitely loneliness and how to basically overcome that, and as well as no longer running away from from you. Because Takemichi has bonded with Hakai in the sense that he had run away. His whole life he's run away. And now, the moment Akun died, the very first death, is when he wanted to save everyone. Because the goal was always save Hina, but that changed the moment Akun died, because he wanted to save everyone. This definitely puts into perspective that Takemichi is definitely someone that he cares for his friends. And he was able to save Hakai and Yuzaha, something that's honestly amazing for our protagonist. And next episode, Taiji's gonna get fucked.